Let's go to west of the Rockies, Leo in Albuquerque. Leo, welcome.
Yes, great conversation, gentlemen. I am no biblical scholar by any stretch, but I have always been conscientious of the fact that it says that it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter heaven. Thankfully, I'm not a rich man in that regard. And I'm also very conscientious of wide is the path, but narrow is the way. What's the key to staying on the narrow way? Can you give me something more specific than just say, read the Bible, you know?
Great question, Leo.
The important thing is not to step in muddy waters, is not to indulge in the materialistic realm too much, because at that point you lose the perception of the spiritual. The fact is that we really grow spiritually during our life if we go in the right direction and we take the right path. So knowing ourselves first, then we can really know others and know the universe that's around us.
Excellent answer. But you can indulge a little bit, right?
You can indulge a little bit, but you have to know how to then cleanse this indulgence.
Right. Yeah? That's right. But I still appreciate a good movie on a big screen TV, if you know what I mean. Let's go to Wild Card. Cornelius in Louisiana. Cornelius, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Church, I really enjoy you, and I'm really enjoying Leo. I'm the God, Guns, and Gold and Bible, Bullets, and Beans man here in Alexandria, Louisiana.
There you go.
My question for Leo, and I'm glad he brought up Star Wars because it's about this good versus evil and stuff. But on the Sci-Fi Channel, I don't know if Mr. Leo gets that, but I know you've probably seen it, Church. It's they've got a new show, and it started for the last 3 nights called Childhood's End.
Fantastic show.
You've seen it, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Where the devil comes down essentially and all like that. But I'm glad Mr. Leo is on that theme, and I want to know if he knows that, to me, it's close to end times, and ISIS or Iran has an end time prophecy, which is like the biblical prophecy, but in reverse, and where we belong in the timeline. And I want to get his book, and I hope he comes out with that psychic attack book where we can defend ourselves. And God bless you, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Cornelius. Great question.
Yes, actually, I will answer to both of those questions in detail. And what they believe is that once they conquer Rome, this is what I just believe, it's not me, so people have to have it clear in their heads when I'm saying this. They believe that once they will destroy Rome, Jesus, the Messiah, will eventually side with them. That means that in their belief system, the Dajjal, the Antichrist of Islam, will eventually work with the Messiah. I know this is very, very hard to digest for Christians, and so that's why I'm saying that this holy war, also watching it from ISIS perspective, it's very different from our perspective. You understand?
I do. It's so. I don't even know the word I want to use. Fascinating, interesting, unbelievable. And you don't have to be Christian. You just have to appreciate what's going on to understand it. It's absolutely fascinating. Let's go to Harmony. First time caller line, Harmony in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida.
Hi, I was just wondering what Leo knows about human sacrifices and ceremonies.
Thank you for the phone call, Harmony. A little bit of a touchy subject, but it does go on apparently, or does it?
It unfortunately goes on, and actually, touching always on the subject that we were just discussing, when ISIS kills those POWs, those people they capture, they are actually doing a human sacrifice. They are sacrificing to Moloch. They are actually at the moment the biggest satanic cult in the world, because by the people they slaughter every day and the way they're acting, they have no comparison to others. Of course, there is other secret societies in which a human sacrifice is present. ISIL, they believe that where they're coming from is different from Al-Qaeda, because ISIL has a state. This state is actually being built in an area in which, by ancient Islamic prophecies, will come this Antichrist. They do this because they want to give power to their evil Moloch. They want to grow this strength by doing this sacrifice. This cult has been present since ancient times. In fact, they even talk about it in the Bible, and even King Solomon had to deal with it.
Right. Let's go to Linda. I mean, it's our greatest. If there's a Pandora's box or a fear or something that would just absolutely freak us out the most, it's that thought. And just confirming that it actually does happen and it's not urban legend, that's the frightening part. Let's go to wild card Linda in Southern California.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Leo. I would like to know why I very rarely ever hear about the pre-Adamic race. If you go to Isaiah 14, especially 14:12, where it says, "How you have fallen, O Lucifer, son of the morning, how you art cast down to the ground." And then if you go to Ezekiel 28, especially 13, it says, "You were in Eden, the garden of God." He was Lucifer, but when he became Satan, then he's in the Garden of Eden. Why is this not addressed, that Satan was in the Garden of Eden?
Well, actually, the Illuminati know it altogether. It's actually pointed out in the seal of Cagliostro. Go and check out on the internet the seal of Cagliostro, which was one of the greatest grandmasters and occultists of all times. And you have this serpent of the Garden of Eden, which is an arrow that goes in between, kills it, dominates him. And it's actually this domination of it that then brings you to the knowledge. Because it's true, the moment in which in the Garden of Eden we've been accepting something, then we compromise our relationship with the highest and the possibility of this direct contact. So we need to go back into the Garden of Eden. The real Illuminati, the ones who are really closer to the mystery school tradition, they were also opening up the way to go back into the Garden of Eden and to find contact through the Tree of Life.
Can I get you to hang on, Leo? Take some more calls for the last hour?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Our guest tonight, Leo Zagami, live from Rome, Italy. His book is Confessions of an Illuminati. More of your phone calls, and I'll get them all in next. Tonight, Leo Zagami, live from Rome, Italy. This is your chance to speak to somebody on the inside with the Illuminati. More of your calls right after this short break. Stay with us. I'm going to try to get everybody in tonight, okay? I've never seen the phones like this, but I'm going to try to get everybody in. But I have to ask one question. Why do you think the mass media has ignored the Friday the 13th connection that happened right there in Paris? That was a very important date, and it wasn't random. And they don't want to report on it or not make the connection. Or is somebody, blocking them from making that connection?
Sure, and I mean, it's obvious that they don't want to make this connection, because this connection doesn't link only to the Muslim world, but also to the Christian world. We have to understand that in ancient times, the sect of the Assassins arrived to actually have a direct link with the Knights Templars. And also in the Sunni world, also the Saladin, the same. There was a direct link with the Knights Templars. So the Knights Templars went to the Middle East and kind of picked up on a lot of knowledge and a lot of ways of entertaining battle. And the fact that you could create a Manchurian candidate is always been said. It was first Hassan Sabah, the man of the mountain, the Assassins, this Islamic Ismaili sect of the actual Shiite, comes from the Shiite branch of Islam, that created these mindless individuals that would simply go and detonate. Well, in that time they would just simply go and kill themselves. They were really the first ones to have this attitude. So here we're talking about years before they devised the Manchurian candidate with the experiments on the POWs and so on.
Right.
Hassan Sabah is regarded as being one of the first. Then we have also Manchurian, because it comes from Fu Manchu.
Right.
Fu Manchu, as we know, was very popular 100 years ago, not 80, 90 years ago in the U.S. until in the end, I think in the late 60s, the Chinese, of course, regarded, rightly so, these books and the films that were made out of these books racist towards the Chinese, but they were also opening up the minds of people on the fact that the Chinese are the masters in secret societies and in control. And of course, if we say Hassan Sabah was probably devised on this side of the world, we can say that this kind of killers that were driven and manipulated at a distance, they also could come from the ancient Chinese secret societies. The guy, in any case, who brought this, I think it was an episode of Fu Manchu, in which they wanted to take control of the U.S., in which Fu Manchu wanted to take control of the U.S., so he created this Manchurian candidate that at one word that he will trigger inside his brain and will go and kill the president. Now, here we're talking about the 30s, imagine, already back in the 30s.
Yeah, they've got it. It's down to a science now, no doubt.
No, but already then, the guy who wrote that, it's interestingly enough, he was a member of the Golden Dawn. He was a member of occult secret societies. It didn't just came out of nowhere, this knowledge.
That's right.
So you see, it's always amongst the Illuminati that we go and find this hidden knowledge that is coming out. So these false flag attacks can be triggered now very easily because this knowledge has become, like you said, so well crafted now,
right,
to a science, so perfect as a science, that of course they can trigger people on the other side of the world who maybe visited once Pakistan or maybe Saudi Arabia, were from Pakistan, had the background, met with some people there that gave them those key words in their brains, that then will help them, activate them at the moment they needed to trigger hell.
Man. Let's go to John, east of the Rockies in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. John, thank you for hanging on.
Hi. I'll try to be brief. The New World Order was the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution for the New World. Now they've perverted this New World Order thing to try to take over the world with money, a monetary takeover, and I think they want to eliminate the original meaning of it. Now, illumination, that's a gift. You are or you're not. And I'd like to know if Leo believes the original or that new perverted meaning of it, which is really industrial takeover of the world.
Excellent question, John. What do you think? Is it...
Well, us, as me as a grandmaster, we have actually broke with the guys we used to work with on this principle.
Right.
That we want to really have a world ruled by an enlightened elite. This doesn't mean that it has to be ruled by people who are just technocrats, like soulless technocrats. This is what is happening, unfortunately, now. When we see all these classic suits taking over the world, especially here in Europe, is very visible because in America you still have, a kind of democratic setup that gives you at least seemingly, kind of, it can be called a democracy still.
Well, it's an image of a...
Yeah, an image that is well done. Here in Italy instead, or in Europe in general, we have the cold-blooded technocrats in power in Brussels. You can see them with their glasses looking like Himmler's SS and acting like them. So, it's very different, the situation. Here we have really some cold-blooded technocrats which say, for example, Greece this, Italy that, you have to give us your money, boom, pay this stuff. So here, really, the situation is becoming apparent that the Illuminati, the real Illuminati, are the ones who embrace light and knowledge and want to give this knowledge, like I'm doing today, freely to the people, because this is the right moment of time to do that. That's why I open up with that passage, Matthew 10:26-27, which is, so do not be afraid of them, for there is nothing concealed that cannot be disclosed. That is very important, that passage, in this moment of time, that should be revealed, should be disclosed. Instead, these people, this knowledge is regarded for them as power, so they don't want to give it out. They want to simply speculate on it. They want to manipulate the people further and enslave them. And there is really a big difference between the real Illuminati. The concept here on Illuminati comes from the first people who were baptized into Christianity, the illuminated. This is the real concept of the real Illuminati, no? To be illuminated.
And I think we talked about this before, Leo. The act of baptism, are you getting enlightened at that moment?
That is originally where the name Illuminati comes from.